Welcome to Rags to Resale, the podcast for resellers who want to amp up their resale business the right way. And now, your host, the all-knowing, the all-selling, the woman who is always right about everything, at least in our household, my wife, Megan Morris. All right, anyway, down to business. Music is off. How you doing, everybody?
Hello. Welcome to Rags to Resale, where we talk all things Posh Mart.
We do. And today, you know what we're going to talk about? You, right? You or any audience members, our audience members specifically, but people who come to live shows. Live shows has been sort of the theme of what we've been doing lately. Megan, as you know, is going to be speaking at Posh Fest, or you may know, is going to be the
October 12th
keynote speaker, or what do we call it?
It's not the keynote.
I like the word keynote.
I know it's just inaccurate.
To me, you're going to be the keynote, but
That's
actually,
false.
she's teaching the master class.
Yes.
For live shows.
That's accurate.
Which I'm not sure if I'm going to be on the stage or not, but I'll be there close by because we do these shows together, as you all know.
You'll be at the foot of the stage.
I'll be at the foot of the stage. I'll be down there with an Oreo cookie or something like that. But anyway, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for people that come to our shows, which has been growing consistently since we started, a little over a year ago. We were getting, we don't get huge numbers. There's people that get 150 or 200 people. We've been getting...
Yeah, well, some people look like they have 300, 400 people in there sometimes.
Right. Well, for a share show, we don't do share shows anymore, although that was part of what kind of built our audience. Mm-hmm. But we're getting 70, 80, 90, 100 people sometimes in our shows, and we're doing really, really well. So we wanted to talk about audience, right? I mean, there's nothing more important than the people who come.
No. I mean, and I don't think when you start doing Posh Lives, you necessarily think about the audience in anything more than in terms of numbers. You want a lot of people in there. You want to draw people in. You want to, make more money. So more people coming is more money. So it was a lot about numbers when you start, and then you quickly realize that it has nothing to do with how many people are in there. It has everything to do with the personalities and the friends and the humor and the thing that gets you through a very long show like ours. To make it one of the most enjoyable ways to make money that I've ever had.
Right. I mean, obviously you have to have people in there if you want to sell things. So, I mean, the base motivation is you want people to see what you're doing, and you want what you're doing has to be something people want to see, right?
Right.
So, but I think what we've sort of come to realize is that we've sort of built this community around our shows.
Yes.
That have become more than just an audience that we're trying to sell to. And those of you who are in it, I hope know that and feel that. Like we've made friends with people we've never seen before, which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
Although we see those little flying thumbnails. So I kind of know what Bridget looks for. I don't know her last name, but she's with us from the beginning. Is that right? Well, whatever. But she comes. Some of our audience comes from the very beginning to the very end of the shows. Nanette,
who is a purse connoisseur.
Right. So you build sort of an audience over time, which really makes you feel good, right? And it helps your business.
Right. Exactly. And new people come in every day that surprise us and are super funny or super helpful, or that remind people. Somebody asked the other day, they had their noise on mute because their husband was watching a movie and they didn't want him to know she was shopping. And so somebody was typing all the measurements out for her.
Right.
So it was so nice of them, and it's just
everybody's
people
on the
surprise
same,
you all the time.
It's Posh Pro team, sort of. Everybody, and that feeds more inclusiveness and more people, and everything builds and the business gets better.
And speaking of feeding, they're very worried about whether or not
you
feed
whether or not you eat, because she doesn't often eat well enough in the shows, but we make sure she gets fed.
Sometimes.
So really today we just wanted to talk more about you, about our audience, and what it is that has sort of helped us. There's other people who have all kinds of different shows. People who are just doing silent shows and slide shows and share shows, and everybody probably has a different kind of take on this. But our thing is sort of what's worked for us and what has continued to grow. I mean, we started doing a few share shows, building an audience, and now we're getting 70, 80, 90, 100 people to every show and selling literally everything that we auction. And we're not doing share shows, we're doing our own stuff.
Right. And I think that, growing an audience is just about continually looking at this as your business and wanting to make it better. And when you have the joy of being on a show every night for all these really fun people, you get to know what they like, and so then you want to do more of that, and you want to grow that, and then you want to take it to the next level. We're doing surprises, giveaways, bag bomb drops. One day we did a clearance. I was just dropping, I had to ship out a mountain of clothes to the winner of the last auction, and we just try to shock and awe and have fun with it, because I feel like people that stay with me for a 6-hour show, they deserve that. They deserve to get something really cool, or have the, chance at something really cool. And it's also just fun for us, right, too.
Well, we do, just so if you haven't seen our shows, they're at 9:00 Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wednesday and Friday nights is Megan and I. On Monday, she's with Darcy.
At Citizen Darcy.
At Citizen Darcy. It's a little slightly different show. Wednesdays and Fridays, we do all bags, backpacks. And there's bottom line is, we should talk about some of the reasons, some of the things that make us successful, right?
Yeah.
And really, I think the first thing we think about is like making it at a place that people want to be.
A welcoming, fun environment.
Right. Like you want people to come when they flip through, and you guys know this if you ever do live shows, you're looking up somebody's nose, and then you're looking at somebody in a shadow, and then then there's complete silence, or music's in the background. So we want our presentation, and we want us to, when you click on us, to go, okay, well that's interesting. What is that, right? That's the first thing, first impression. You can never get a second chance at a first impression, right? Wasn't that a commercial?
Yes,
way back in the old days?
Also, I think it's really important to be consistent. So we know we're there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have a pace that we try to stick to, and a routine that we try to stick to, so the people watching us can expect certain things. And yes, all of the products are different. It's exciting, and there's vintage, and there's really rare things that pop up, which is a draw all by itself. But then there's, a consistency. We are going at a pretty good pace.
Right.
Things are coming through. We're thanking them, but then we move on. We don't really get off on any tangents or long conversations. If someone asks for something specific and I can't find it right away, we're sort of multitasking and making sure that we're keeping the pace up while looking for that thing. So it is, there's a lot of balls in the air. But, when you're in a groove and the music's playing and everybody, the audience specifically, is in a good mood and, supporting us, bidding and loving it and enjoying each other and commenting, it doesn't feel like work.
No.
Even with all of those balls in the air. It's
a show, and we use the word show. Posh uses the word show, and it is a show. And it's like a TV. So people equate it to TV show, and we have some background in TV. But the cool thing about it, as you guys know, is that it's a two-way street, right? It's not just us talking at you, although right now that's exactly what we're doing. But in a live show, you are an active participant in that show. And that's something that
so cool.
We never want to forget, right? And what that means in the show is most of the time I'm looking at the computer. We have to be responsive to people, right? It's hard when you have 100 people in there and people.
And we do miss things, right? For sure.
You're gonna miss things. But first of all, there's two of us, which you pretty much have to do. I can't imagine how it's very hard.
A lot of people do it by themselves.
It's very hard.
It doesn't keep the pace that you
right.
can't possibly.
So there's two of us, and then I'm very careful about like watching comments. And also trying to get to know people, recognizing people, welcoming people. Because just think about it. You walk into somebody's house, you turn on a TV show, whatever it is, like you want to feel like you're welcome and you're part of it. So that's a really important part of what we do.
Yeah. And we are in our home, and there are things going on. We've had nights where, our son had a total breakup with his girlfriend, for during the thing.
Yeah.
And it was chaos in the background. But you have to try to keep a positive attitude on the show. It's okay to be real and to talk to your friends about what's happening a little bit, but it's a job. We are here to present purses to people, and they're our customers, and we want that to continue and be.
Well, having said that, though, I think that there is something about the authentic nature of the fact that we are in our basement and our son is right in there, probably listening to what we're saying right now. And as those of you who watch us know, the dogs will walk in, and the kids will walk in and say something stupid. So, like, we're relatable.
Not stupid. Adorable.
Yes, adorable.
Adorably stupid.
Adorably stupid. And things happen because we're in our house. And that's fine, because people are in our... I feel like I'm always envisioning, and I know that a lot of our audience is sitting, like, in bed, like you just mentioned, the one woman with her husband next to her, she's got headphones on. And everybody's in their house. So, like... we consider it an honor that they allow us into their house, and we welcome them into ours. And that sort of authentic sort of connection that we have, I think, is a big part of why people keep coming back to our show.
Yeah, and while keeping in mind that we are providing a service.
Right, and showing really cool
balance.
Stuff, right. And people are, I think one of the things that makes me feel the absolute best is when somebody comes in, and this happens pretty frequently actually, is someone at the end of the show will go, hey, listen, I just want to say, you guys, this was so much fun. It was a great show. I've never seen them before. They didn't buy anything that night, but they just sat there and watched, right? So, like, what I know that
That's
ultimately
so awesome.
we're trying to
I
sell
love
things,
that.
but right, that
so
to me,
great.
that is a sign that we're doing our job right. When somebody goes, it was so cool being with you tonight, and I didn't watch Netflix tonight, I watched your thing.
And people will say, I feel like I can't miss something. I'm going to miss something. I can't.
Right. Somebody said the other day, they said, I'm addicted to your show. Like, they said that in the comments. And then other people are like, me too. Well, why? I don't know. Like, we're just two people sitting here. I'm sure that for every person that says they're addicted, there's somebody else that comes in and says, who are those two clowns and why is their dog at their feet?
But, if we're for you, then we are welcoming and we want you to be there, and it's super fun. And I know that we have some other people that come in, and they are just hardcore purse shoppers. They are there for the products. They don't talk too much. They don't get into the weeds about anything, but they are shopping, and we're there for them as well. I mean, they expect a certain pace of stuff coming at them and see all the things that they want to see and the things they call out, and we have to keep that moving just as much as keeping up with our friends and seeing how they're doing and remembering, that their son went away to college or all those things, We've
got 2 or 3 people that are regulars on our shows that are going through chemotherapy right now, which is obviously very unfortunate, but they come into our space, into our shared
of those
space.
Ladies, just so kind and so giving of their time and
then
energy.
And then they get support from other people who, not only other people that are going through that, but other people who have, and everyone else there. So it's a safe place. It's a place where you're respected and feel welcome and feel heard, right? And all those things seem like they're so superfluous to selling something, but it isn't, though, because that's really what makes people come and want to stay with us and then ultimately want to buy something from us.
Right, exactly. And then that customer service should continue on past your show. And, if somebody does have an issue or a problem or is unhappy with something, you have to be there for that too. Be present with that, handle it professionally and, pick your battles and move on, because it's part of doing business. And, you can't, I see a lot of things, on Reddit and all these questions constantly about just grievance about customer relations. And sometimes things are annoying and sometimes someone's not nice or something falls through or whatever, but you have to take that with all the good and equal balance it out, because those little pesky things, if you don't have a certain number of those, you're not doing enough business to make it worth your while.
There's got to be a percentage of problems.
Just happens.
Failed payments have been happening lately.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of an awkward situation because you don't want to call somebody out and embarrass them. But on the other hand,
it also tells you have to rerun it, and it doesn't.
And we don't really want to rerun it. So in our particular case, how do you usually handle it?
I usually once that happened and it was just stopped. It wasn't continuing on and giving you a failed list of things that. And the pricing, which used to happen, we started writing the pricing on every tag that is attached, like a luggage piece, to your items that you win with your name on it. So we know what you paid for it and what your name was. And if we come up short and you have a few failed payments, say you have one thing that went through, we can send you an invoice listing the next day and have you buy it and get your things.
Which is kind of a pain in the butt, but
it is. It is kind of.
But
and I think that's why they did it this way, that you can rerun it. But it does give a little bit of I feel bad calling somebody out right after they win something to say that.
Plus, they want it and they think they want it and they might not know that they had a failed payment, and like, you don't want to embarrass them, but you also don't want to just go rerun that thing and go, screw you.
I know, it's like, you have the option to rerun this. Well, okay, remember that thing we just ran? We're running it again.
Because it failed payment, you're screwed.
I know, it's terrible.
We figured that out, and she sends them an invoice, which is a little extra work, but I think
listing,
people appreciate that. But then occasionally some people will come in where they're really a jerk, and if you guys have done this, you've seen that before, and there's some level that becomes not often. I mean, maybe in the year that we've been doing it, I mean, some people are kind of rude, a little bit difficult, whatever. We deal with all of that.
Sometimes super late at night.
But occasionally, maybe somebody's had a few too many drinks on a Friday night. But we've had a couple that. So what's your philosophy on that when somebody is a complete, what can I say? Jerk. Complete jerk. I don't know. All I know is profanity.
So you can immediately touch their name in the list. You can, or me, and block them, knock them out of the show, mute them. It's called mute.
Right.
Mute them, and they cannot speak. They can't comment. They can't do anything with your show anymore. They can't even see it.
Well, we had one person who came in one night and bought tons and tons of stuff, and then was getting more and more belligerent throughout the course of the evening.
She was so
oh my God! At the end of the night, she started.
Everybody was fighting with her in the comments.
She was like making these rude comments, and then she was insulting us.
And then she was just being.
And then
so
she
crazy.
brought a case, and then she made up things that were wrong.
She said immediately after the show ended, she had spent $500, and she immediately she said, just cancel everything.
All right.
And it was like 2:30 in the morning.
And she had outbid so many people.
So I just went to bed, and sometime the next morning I checked in, and she had opened a case before the thing even left my hands, and they told her it was too early to do a case, and so I shipped it to her, because she didn't do anything for a few days, and she immediately said everything was fugazi, destroyed or whatever. So
bottom line is, it was a big pain in the butt. Megan was really worried about it because you don't like to have anybody leave, but unhappy. But we did nothing wrong.
She said that I had stuffed everything in a plastic bag and it wasn't all tissue paper.
Right, and she said it smelled like cigarettes too.
Yeah,
right?
and it smelled like
and
cigarettes.
We're like, what? No, we don't even know anybody that smokes hardly.
So
it was a complete disaster, and I just kept saying to her, like,
I said, how do you expect me to send you 47 bags with one shipping label?
Right.
I put it in 3 boxes for.
It was so bad.
It doesn't matter. We're not here to complain about one person.
Bottom line is, we ended up getting the case resolved by Poshmark in our favor because there was absolutely no case, and then we.
That was really the worst. Probably the worst one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
and we
really
blocked
not that
her.
Bad.
But kind of my point was that Megan felt, I think we both felt, but you especially felt really bad about it because just by nature of who she is and who we are, we're like trying to make people happy. And at some point, you just got to realize you can't make everyone happy. There's going to be a percentage of a-holes out there.
Yeah, and let me say that throughout that whole thing, we're explaining the details of it, but you have to, and I tried to, you have to just laugh it off. It doesn't matter in the end, it just doesn't matter. If you lose that sale, which we didn't, that
was a big one too.
They voted they chose us on that one.
Right.
But even if you do lose a sale, it's more important to enjoy your life and, enjoy that this is how you make money. You shop for a living,
99% of our interactions with people are positive. And that's because going back to what we talked about before, there are a few outliers and that they immediately feel unwelcome, right? Yeah. Because they feel the positivity in the room. People don't abide it, and we're very much a community. And that's what I would say to anybody who's doing this. Maybe your community is a little different than our community, but create that community and have it be the authentic people that you are, or person that you are. Because you're going to attract people if you're just who you are and you do a good job. You make a good presentation, you have good products.
And enjoy the process.
And enjoy it, right?
If you enjoy the process of making your show as good as it can be for the people that come and support you, and just make that your mantra, it will get better because they'll feel that through you, that you're just being genuine, you're just being yourself, and you're enjoying what you're doing with them. It's a party to me. It literally is a party, especially because I'm working like a dog up until we start that party. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, woo, it's time,
right.
And it really does feel
down.
Yeah. I felt good the other night.
I know.
Until really late.
Lots of Red Bull.
Yeah. That was crazy. I mean, I was like, I can't believe it's 2:30 in the morning. I feel fine.
I think that, all of it, bottom line is all goes back to just sort of being authentic, being your authentic self, work hard, be who you are, be positive, create a supportive environment, give good products to people, give good service to people, and good things will happen.
And if you don't enjoy people, like there are people that are just not front-facing customer service people that don't enjoy interacting with people, and that's okay. You have a math brain or a computer brain, but if you don't enjoy people, don't think that standing in front of by yourself in your basement with a camera is going to work for you. You have to be able to enjoy these people, like truly have fun with them, or they're going to feel it immediately. Because I've had my bad days and it feels like it's not working, that people are leaving because they can sense that in you.
Right, for sure. Absolutely. And the things that we're doing, again, we started with us, like Megan was starting with a business partner who's moved on to greener pastures, as our pastures have gotten greener here as well. But she was great, built the foundation of this thing and just started to slowly build it up and build it up and build it up. Doing the things that we're talking about now, and went from 15 people to 25 people to 30 people.
Right.
To 40,
so don't be discouraged
50. It takes time.
We did our share of share shows that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, we got to know people who are still with us.
Yeah, and we made that share show the best show it could be, and we weren't making very much money then, but we wanted whatever show we're doing, and maybe it is our production background, but if we're doing a show, we want you to enjoy it. We want you to be happy with our product that we're presenting to you.
Right.
And if you keep that in mind and think less about the bottom line and more about what you're giving, what you're offering, it just works out.
And we try to maintain positivity between us, which is sometimes difficult. Because Megan's makes some comments to me that sometimes can be a little bit condescending.
A genuine peach.
All right, those of you who watch this show know what we're talking about. This is authentic. We're talking about authentic. Some of real life spills into our interactions in our show.
Sir, are perfect.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear from you right now. This is a good way to wrap things up, Megan. And by the way, I'm also not.
You are rushing to the end of this now.
I'm also not. That was a good captain thought. I'm also not shorter than her.
No, you're on a very short chair.
I'm on a short stool.
It's okay. I can be taller than you.
I think that's another thing too, honey, is that like people can tell that we actually like each other.
That's true. Yeah, most of the time. Jinx.
All right. PoshProProject.com if you want to learn way more about her and all the expert part of our business, right?
Yes.
PoshProProject.com.
Yes, go
what
there.
What else do we have on there, Megan?
You have all the e-learning from basics to just setting up your closet on Poshmark all the way up to soon to be the master class from Posh Fest on
Right.
Posh Shows Live. And we will be doing that October 12th and 13th. I'll be there in San Diego. That will be a fun
Teaching
weekend.
the master class.
With the Posh.
Why can't I say
with the Posh
Why
Kings.
can't I say the word master class
The Posh
without
Kings
saying it with an accent?
are amazing.
Stupid accent. Yes, Posh King.
The Posh Kings will be there
Mm-hmm.
with us. And go to ragsresale.com to watch, listen to all the former podcasts and or Posh Pro Project on YouTube, and you can see us talking.
Just like this.
Just
I'm looking quite tired tonight, Megan, and a little bit pale. I'm not happy about this.
I'm a little pale myself.
I think our lighting is not great tonight.
No.
We need to get a lighting guy.
Dave Trisnowski is an Indian giver. Official.
All right. He doesn't. Nobody knows what that reference is, but we're gonna just. We know what we're talking about.
He knows. He knows.
All right, let's wrap it up. What do you say?
Yes.
Enough knowledge.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening to Rags to Resale. Please check out poshproproject.com. I'm Megan. He's Tim. And we will see you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Poshmark on our live shows at poshpro_Megan.
Goodbye.
Yeah.